A few questions we're going to explore on today's show. Is Damian Lillard on the move this offseason? Could the Lakers be a suitor? And can the Lakers even afford his salary because they are right now cap-strapped going into the 2021-2022 season? Let's start to dive into it all. So this all started after the Blazers were eliminated from the playoffs by the Denver Nuggets, and Damian Lillard took to Instagram, quoted the great Nipsey Hussle, who is a Los Angeles legend, and said, quote, "How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation?" A lot of people saw that Instagram post and thought, okay, is that a cryptic message? Is Damian Lillard trying to send a message to the Portland Trail Blazers front office? And could he request a trade? Over the weekend, there was some more turnover within that organization because the Blazers and coach Terry Stotts, who that's the only coach Damian Lillard knows since he came into the league, they decided to part ways. And it's not like the Trailblazers have had a lot of postseason success. 4 first-round exits over the last 5 years. Damian Lillard has been there for almost 10 years, going back to 2012, and could he just be starting to get fed up with the lack of success in the postseason? Last week, we told you all here on the Lakers Report that Damian Lillard was maybe looking at Jason Kidd as a potential replacement for Terry Stotts. It looks as though Damian Lillard isn't going to get his wish because Jason Kidd has taken his name out of the consideration for that head coaching opening. But according to Chris Haynes, he still is in the mix for the Boston Celtics head coach opening now that Brad Stevens has gone from coach to general manager. Damian Lillard also, according to some reports, does like the prospects of having Chauncey Billups as the next head coach of this franchise. But Sam Amick also reported earlier today, as we record this on Monday, that Damian Lillard isn't going to demand who is hired next as the head coach of this franchise. So a lot to unpack. That's why we're doing it here on the Lakers Report, trying to simplify it all for you. Here's what Shams had to say about the Damian Lillard situation in Portland. Sources say several NBA teams, including those in the top markets, are already intensely monitoring this situation in Portland and how it develops to look for an opening to make trade offers. We put this on the Lakers Report because the Lakers are expected to be one of those teams, and they are in one of the top markets in Los Angeles. So look into your crystal ball and predict it for us. Will Damian Lillard get dealt this summer? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. Get your votes in the comment section down below and let us know if you think Damian Lillard, one of the best bucket getters across the entire NBA, is going to be traded this offseason. The Lakers Report today is made possible thanks to our friends at Newsbreak. Now, when all of us wake up in the morning, what's the first thing that a lot of us do? We open our eyes after hearing that alarm, we reach over, we grab our phones. And I don't know where I would be in life without the Newsbreak app. And I'm telling you, if you don't have it on your phone right now, you are really missing out because it's an app that I use every single day. Also, the Newsbreak app, they are a big sponsor of what we do here at Chat Sports. On one single feed, you're going to be able to get everything from your local news, weather, and crime, your politics and entertainment news, as well as pop culture, your sports content, including Lakers Report videos from Chat Sports. And one of the cool features is you plug in your zip code, and basically you're able to stay up to date with everything that's happening in your neighborhood, whether you're living in Los Angeles, Santa Monica, Orange County, Malibu, whatever. So go to chatsports.com/LakersNB, download the Newsbreak app right now because you don't know what you're missing. And also, you have to help me out a little bit because I met with the bosses this morning and we talked about what our plans are moving forward with NBA free agency and how we can approach some of these Lakers Report shows and videos. And they said, you must get a bunch of people to download the Newsbreak app using the link on the bottom of your screen, which redirects you to the App Store, or else. And I'm thinking that or else might mean that I'm fired, which isn't good for me because I want to continue to talk Lakers. So chatsports.com/LakersNB. Help me out and download the Newsbreak app today. Oddsmakers have released their odds as to where they think Damian Lillard could play next season. What do you know? Los Angeles Lakers coming in at number 2 behind the Portland Trail Blazers at plus 125. If you want to get your wagers in, you can do so. If you think Dame's going to get traded to the Lake Show at plus 200, not the greatest value there, but some other teams in the mix, the New York Knicks, the Milwaukee Bucks, as well as the Miami Heat. Now, Here's what you have to look out for, because the Lakers, as we talk about, are very cap-strapped. They don't have a lot of money to spend right now. And the combined salaries of a few players who we'll show you on your screen coming up is checking in, according to Spotrac, at $117.9 million. Damian Lillard's contract, it's fat. So I'm not even sure the Lakers would be able to afford him when you look at some of these contracts right here. LeBron James next season on the books for $41+ million. Anthony Davis, $35+ million. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope at $13 million. Kyle Kuzma just re-upped for $13 million as well. Marc Gasol on the books next season for $2.5 million. Now, these are the only 5 Lakers who are guaranteed to be on the roster next season. And when you look at the future salary cap across the entire NBA, it's not good for the Lake Show. Salary cap in the NBA for the 2021-2022 season is at $112 million. The tax is at $136.5 million. The Lakers' current active roster for next season, it is over that $112 million figure at $116.9. And how much money does the Lakers have right now? The current cap space for this organization, they are in the red, negative $9.5 million. Now, there's no doubt that Damian Lillard, one of the best players across the entire NBA. You could probably make the argument he's the most clutch player in the NBA. And even though he's 30 years old, he is still producing, he is still elite, and he can still put the dagger in your heart, as evidenced by Game 5 in Denver with what he did to the Denver Nuggets. This past season, he was great. 28.8 points per game, shooting 45+% from the floor. I think, best case scenario, he has 5 years left like this, especially with how the NBA game has changed and how the rules have changed as well. The big question is, as he does get older, do you want to pay him this large sum of money looking ahead? This upcoming season for Portland, or if the Lakers trade for him, on the books for a base salary of $39.3 million. And that number continues to rise pretty astronomically over the next several seasons at $42.5, then $45.5, 2024-25, $48.7 million for Damian Lillard. And at that point, he's going to be in his mid-30s. I think the only way that Damian Lillard is traded for by the Los Angeles Lakers, because you have to make salaries match, and Portland has to make sure that they're getting a legitimate player back for one of the best across the entire league, is trading Anthony Davis for Damian Lillard. I think that is the only deal that could work this offseason to bring Dame to the Lakers. He's more available than Anthony Davis. Maybe AD brings more value to this current team and has even more talent. The big issue with AD, he is brittle, and those injuries cost him and the Lakers this first-round series. And looking ahead, as he gets older, are those injuries going to continue to pile up? I would briefly think about AD for Damian Lillard. What would you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. You can say, Chase, you were absolutely crazy. There's no way I'm giving up AD for Damian Lillard. But pick one of these players who you want on the Lakers. Type DL for Damian Lillard. Type AD for Anthony Davis. Get your votes in down below, and let's get this heater of a discussion going right now. This is why you subscribe to the Lakers Report, because any news and rumors that come out about your Lakers, we have you covered here on the channel, and we are quickly approaching 36,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already subscribed, do so right now. Get us to 36K. Either hit that big red subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/LakersTV.